Hey everybody, how's it going? Today we're going to be going over and showing you how to install the Rhino-Rack SG roof rack for rain gutters here on a 2022 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited. So this is what our roof rack is going to look like installed on our vehicle here. Now these crossbars have a black powder coated finish which is going to help protect them from rust and corrosion over time. And if you ask me, you can't really go wrong with black in regards to the roof of your vehicle here. It just looks good no matter what color you have. So these are a great looking option, and not only do they look great, they're going to hold up well and look new over time due to that durable protection. So this kit does come what's known as arrow-shaped crossbars. So there's all different kinds of crossbar types on the market. You have the round ones, the square ones, also some other odd shapes. But arrow crossbars are definitely the best. The reason they're the best is they do two things great. Number one, they don't create a lot of wind noise, and number two, they don't create a lot of drag. And by not creating a lot of drag, that's going to ensure that you don't have any effects on your fuel economy. And if they do, it's going to be very minimal. So having those arrow crossbars there, they definitely look the best, and they're also going to perform the best because the wind just glides over them. It's not creating near as much resistance. So as you'll see here, there isn't a ton of clearance between the top of the roof and the bottom of the crossbar. Now, you could still use wraparound style accessories, but if you wanted to, you could actually use channel mounted accessories as well, and that's what I prefer. They're a little bit easier to use. They just simply slide into the tracks here on the top of our crossbar. So it's nice to have that option no matter what type of rooftop accessories you have. You're going to be able to use them with this roof rack here due to the versatile track and wraparound style mounting systems. So keep in mind, your clearance between the top of the roof and the bottom of the crossbar could vary depending on what roof type you have, because there's actually a couple different roof types on the Jeep Wrangler Unlimited. This is sort of the hybrid one. There's also a fully hard top and a fully soft top. As long as you have the rain gutters on the side, this is going to be compatible. Now just keep in mind though, the clearance that you have between the crossbar and the top of the roof could vary depending on what roof type you have. So a big thing with roof racks is going to be weight capacity. People want to know how much stuff they can put up on the roof. And this doesn't sound like a lot, but this roof rack does have an 88-pound weight capacity, and that's evenly distributed across both bars. And again, that may not sound like a super high number, but you'd be surprised how much stuff you could fit on the roof here. You could definitely get a cargo box up here, maybe throw a bike rack up here as well. A cargo basket you can load some things onto. A couple bikes, really, the possibilities are endless. So something else I really like about this roof rack system is the flush crossbar design. Now what I mean by that is the crossbars go into the ends of our feet here. They don't actually extend out past the feet on the vehicle. So granted, we don't get quite as much crossbar space, but if you ask me, the flush design looks a heck of a lot better, and we're not creating as much drag. There's also a legal requirement. You could get into some issues with the laws if your crossbars stick out too far. I believe in a lot of states it's past the end of the side mirror. So overall, the flush bar design is much cleaner, and it definitely doesn't create as much wind noise as some of the ones with that overhang. So in regards to installation, this is very, very simple and straightforward. It's definitely something you guys are going to want to do by yourselves at home in your driveway. Just give yourselves an hour to two, really. The only thing you need as far as tools is a tape measure. The rest of it, it's going to have everything it needs. There's going to be no modifications whatsoever. This is definitely something you don't want to pay to have done. You guys can definitely do this yourself, and we'll even walk you through the entire process step by step now. So to start your installation, you're going to lay everything out on a table in front of you, because we're going to do a lot of assembly on the table before we actually put it on the vehicle. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to grab one of your crossbars. Now your crossbars are labeled. There should be a tag on there that says the rear or front. We've already got the front one on, so we're going to be showing you how to install the rear. So just make sure you have the correct crossbar depending on which one you're going to start on. And then we're going to have these little rubber strips here which install inside the channels there. So they actually give you enough to fill this completely. You can see there's some gaps in ours, but we just put those on there just to mock it up. You're actually going to be cutting these down for the exact length of your crossbars so it fills them completely. These install pretty easily. You're just going to line them up. There's little knobs on the bottom there. They're going to line up with the channels, and you're just going to press them down. They are a little difficult there because it is a super tight fit, but definitely still doable. So go ahead and insert the rest of your strips here into the channel on the crossbar, and then cut off any excess that you have. Next, we're going to be installing our mounting feet. So these are what our mounting feet look like. And we have two little knobs here. They're going to slide into our crossbar assembly here. Make sure you obviously have them installed the right way. They are not side specific though, so that doesn't matter. Just line everything up. Now it is usually a pretty tight fit. Once you take them off and put them on again a couple times, it's going to be a little bit more manageable, but for that first initial install, you'll probably need to take like a rubber mallet or just your fist and just hit that end cap onto the crossbar. But once you have it on there securely, we're going to flip it over, and there's going to be a hole in the bottom of the crossbar, which is going to match up with the hole in our foot there. Now we're just going to take our Phillips head screw and secure that to mate the two to one another. So now we're going to install our clamp mechanism onto the end of our feet here. So this is composed of two parts. They're going to fit together like so. And then you're actually going to have those two holes in there that you're going to line up with the two welded nuts here. Well, they're not actually welded, but there's two little nuts there in the inside of your end cap. So you're just going to set them on there like so, line everything up, and then secure them with your hardware. So your hardware is going to be composed of these screws here, along with a split lock washer and a flat washer. So you kind of have to line everything up at one time, so it can be kind of difficult. And if these have rotated on you, you may need to even adjust them just to get them parallel there with the hole. That way you can start screwing them on like so. So there is one on either side. We're just going to loosely install both of those now. Now we're going to take our rubber strip here and place it onto the end of the plastic part of our foot. So now that we have our crossbar assembly all put together, we'll go ahead and throw it up on the vehicle. Now you do want your Rhino Rack stickers facing forward, and keep in mind there's also set points that Rhino Rack recommends installing is onto the roof of your vehicle. So you will need to measure before you set either the front or the rear bar. So now once we have both of our assemblies onto the vehicle here, we want to go ahead and double check our measurements so we can ensure they're in the correct location. And then we can begin tightening down the screws here. I recommend tightening them down evenly, switching back and forth from side to side. And we will be using our torquing tool that Rhino Rack includes. So the way this works is, when we get to the final torque value, this little tab here is plastic, and it should straighten out. So that's going to let us know that we have them torqued to spec. But right now we're just going to take some time here and just snug up all these fasteners. And again, we want to rotate side to side, front to back here, just so we can ensure everything's being tightened and pulling up to the vehicle nice and evenly. And now that we have both sides secure, that's going to do it today for our look and installation of the Rhino Rack SG Roof Rack for rain gutters here on a 2022 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited.